Peter's heart was just torn. He wept bitterly, meaning he was repentant of what he'd done. He wanted to say, I'm sorry. And he was grievous so much about it that apparently Peter did not forgive himself. Look at how Peter's response was. And so when Mary and Mary Magdalene and the other Mary, the Bible said when they went to the tomb, right? And the angel said to them in Mark, go tell the disciples and Peter. Because Peter is still struggling. And he's so concerned that he's not going to leave us there. And so he's wondering, where are you now? He's looking around. And Jesus come purposefully and start a conversation with Peter. Because he's wondering, where are you now, Peter? Where are you now? I remember when you first met me. I remembered how your passion was. I remember how you were confident. And I saw you when you fell, Peter. Where are you now? You come as you are, but don't stay as you are. God's intent is that when the way you came, by the time you encounter him, you change. When Peter came, he was a fisherman. Nothing wrong with being a fisherman, but that was his calling, a purpose in life. But we find in John 21, Peter is back to his old ways. He knew who Jesus was. He had passion for him. He was confident in himself. And he fell. And then this failure felt like, I quit. Look, come on, let's look at this real quick. I'm trying to show you something. Look at John 21. It's interesting how Peter's heart was so broken by the failure. And we can be so broken by our failures that getting up seems pointless and seems like it don't even make sense to try anymore. You ever wonder why there are so many people in church and they're continuously sinning? And it's not like, oh man, I tripped. It's, I'm down here and I'm good. And there is this continuous doing the thing. And it's not that they didn't meet Christ. Sometimes our failure can grip us so much that we don't even bother to try to get up. Am I talking to somebody? You fall so deep. I can't get up now. My strength is gone. I don't have no confidence anymore. I've lost it. But God cares so much that he's searching you out. Where are you now? Where are you now? When you came to me, you heard me. And you accepted my will. But where are you now? I care too much for you to leave you there. That's what God is saying. So John 21 verse 3. We find Peter, always the ringleader, always the person to get everybody else to do something. Jesus had just been risen from the dead. He had seen Jesus. And it's interesting that they're not around where Jesus is. They're not, it's as if they're not really so concerned anymore, like as when they were before. You saw they were always with him, right? They saw Jesus in chapter 20. Peter, Thomas, who was the doubtful Thomas, we call him, he had this encounter. Jesus revealed himself again and said, touch me. But then we find in 21, something still is not settled with Peter. Peter still has something going on with him that needs help. Verse 3 says, Simon Peter said unto them, I go a fishing. It translates to be, I am going fishing. You got to understand this in context and recognize how serious this decision is. It's not a bad decision, But it points out a condition about Peter. Peter, the first time he encountered Christ, he heard his calling. Jesus said to him, from this time forward, not after I'm risen, but from this time forward, you shall be fishers of men. Peter fell along the way. And that's why Jesus said, Satan decided to sift you like wheat. He decided to just take you out. But I prayed for you. And when you're converted, because there's going to come a time when it's going to happen, Peter. Right now you're struggling. And right now you don't even recognize you're struggling yet. But when it happens, you're going to start struggling. And you're going to find like you don't even care anymore. But I prayed for you that I'm going to protect you, Peter. And when you're converted, I'm going to use you to strengthen others. That's really God's plan, He intends to use our stories, which involves our failures and strong points, and he intends to use that to help somebody else, strengthen the brethren. So Peter says, I'm going fishing. The last part before this is that Jesus was just in their midst in John 20. And now John 21. I'm going fishing. And it's interesting what happened with this decision of choosing to go back. The Bible says at the end of verse 3, and that night they caught nothing. Fruitless ways. It's useless. It was pointless to waste the time. It was useless to go that direction. But there was this determination in Peter because of his loss of passion, loss of direction, because of this one event that happened that crippled him. He failed. He's fallen. He went down and he feel like I have nothing left. And he got to this point of, I'm going fishing. I'm going back to my old ways. And there was no use of doing it. Nothing came out of it. Here's this thing about this place, young people, and anyone that's in this place. Listen, the thing about your always is what has happened with Peter. You'll catch nothing. You'll bring nothing out of it. It'll get you nothing. It'll get you nowhere. It'll produce nothing in your life. Because it's not you. When you come to Christ, this is what happens. The Bible says all things presently are passed away, and all things progressively become new. I put the word progressively. This become is progression. It's not is new, but become new. But there is a thing about the old things. They are. So, though you may go and pick it up, it won't do you anything like it used to. That's why people continue to try to do the wrong thing. It just don't satisfy, so they keep trying again and they keep trying again. But it's not satisfying. Why? There's the nature your nature has changed. When you came to Christ, you were born again, the Bible says. And so this old way that used to be satisfying to you just won't do it anymore. And all you'll find yourself doing is just going, repeating, getting, and doing nothing. Peter went about and said, I'm going to get this thing. I'm going fishing. I'm tired. I'm going fishing. I'm done. And there's nothing. But it's amazing how God cares. That you know the story. When Jesus came on the scene, he told him, cast it on the right side. Go in and catch some fish. Though you may disregard my will, I'll still do something for you. I'll still do something for you. I'll still go ahead and make a miracle for you. Though you don't even see or care anymore because you've lost